Hey everybody, KC here. So, sometimes you can teach an old dog new tricks. And at my advanced age, one of the things that I've discovered that I love is jazz. And I have to say, I never used to listen to jazz. I probably went the first 50 plus years of my life not listening to jazz. But over the years, I would read Michael Connelly novels, right? And he would always mention jazz musicians, so I would occasionally check them out. And then on the Bosch TV series, I would listen and I'd say, well, that's really interesting. And I discovered that what I really like is I love the sound of the saxophone, right? Especially the mournful sound of the saxophone. And it touches my soul. And it's a wonderful thing to discover this. Later in life, because it was this whole category of music that I just didn't know anything about. And the other advantage is, right? So I've got the Alexa system, so I can basically say to Alexa, play Wayne Shorter or play John Coltrane, and they'll just give me a selection. And the other advantage is I have, Apple Music, so I can always download things to my laptop, my phone, my iPad, whatever it happens to be. I can listen to lots of different things. I was not hugely familiar with the Wayne Shorter oeuvre, when he passed away last week, but I was instantly able to go in and I was able to find things that I'd never heard before and kind of educate myself a little bit. That's really what the whole jazz thing has been about. It's been about educating myself. To me, this is a really interesting lesson for retailers, right? Because the whole thing is if you can get people to sample stuff that maybe they've never tried before, you can turn them into fans, aficionados, whatever it happens to be, and get them to try more. That's a really important thing to do. At the same time as Wayne Shorter passed away last week, the New York Times posted this piece. It was really interesting. It was, 5 minutes that will make you love jazz piano. And they went to critics and they went to other jazz musicians and DJs and jazz writers and to ask them about the jazz piano pieces that they loved. And it was fascinating. And, so I knew a little bit about the work of Thelonious Monk. I knew about Errol Garner, but I'd never heard of Horace Silver before. Now, maybe those of you who are huge jazz fans and have been doing it a lot longer than I would say, oh, everybody knows who Horace Silver is. I didn't. But I got a chance to listen to him and say, wow, that's really, really, really cool. So as a retailer, I think, again, this is an important lesson to take in mind. If you can expose people to more things they haven't been exposed to before, just raise their standards just a little bit. I'm not just necessarily talking about things that are expensive, but get them to try foods that they've never tried before, flavors they've never tried before, textures they've never tried before. Get them to smell aromas they've never smelled before. You can actually get people to try more things. You become more than just a purveyor of product. You become a source of inspiration and aspiration. I can actually say jazz has sort of changed my life a little bit. There's nothing I like more now than sitting in the kitchen, maybe have a glass of wine and make a bolognese or make a risotto or whatever it happens to be, and I'll always have jazz on. It has been life-changing. As a retailer, if you're a savvy retailer, you have the ability to change people's lives too. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.